All right, well, good. Tell Eric to stick his face back in the thing.
Eric, get back in the shot.
Yes.
What do you got here? What do you?
All right, we got on Skype 1. We got Brian Marks, who's got a little. He's got a little documentary he wants to talk about on the Browns.
All right, let's talk about it. Hey, Brian, how are you doing?
Hey, Brian.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. Looks like you're in the man cave there. That truly looks like a winterized man cave that's somewhere in Northeast Ohio, somewhere deep into the bowels of snow country.
Yep, that's right.
All right, what are you working on? Because you got a great project. Why don't you explain it to everybody?
Yeah, so we're doing a documentary. It's called The Greatest Day in Cleveland Sports, and the idea is that we're gonna kind of talk all about the 1964, championship game where we won. As you may know, it was the last time that we won something of such significance, and we haven't since. So we kind of want to bring that back to Clevelanders and really let them know about that day, and so we don't forget it.
Brian, it was interesting that we got the trophy back last week for 64. I think there are a lot of Browns fans that are yearning for the past to remind people and to remind this younger generation that this franchise actually was one of the proudest franchises in the National Football League.
That's right. And we won 10 championships overall. Over a period of 10 years, we won 8. We won 8 of 10 before 64, and it's something that a lot of us. I'm 26, and I didn't know a whole lot about it until I got involved with the project. And the Greatest Day in Cleveland Sports is an organization that they actually already produced a 2-disc CD set of a recreation of the radio broadcast of Gib Shanley, Art Greenberg, and Jim Mueller. And it's an excellent CD if you ever want to check it out. But then they came to me and they said, let's do a documentary and really, show the fans and the commemorate the players and just bring this back to Clevelanders, because a lot of these players are approaching 70, 80 years old, and we have to get this story told from their perspective while we can.
Brian, this obviously isn't going to raise itself. You guys got to raise money. I know you're closing in on a deadline for people that are watching. How can they help? What can they do?
Yeah, well, so we have to acquire footage from NFL films to really legitimize this project, and it comes at quite a cost. So we're on Kickstarter. It's a crowdfunding website where you basically pitch your creative idea to the world and ask for a little bit of help. Right now, we have about 25% of our goal funded, with only about 8 days left, and we're asking for $20,000, and we've got a little over 4,500. So fans can go to greatestdayincleveland.com and find our Kickstarter page on there, and any way that they can help would be very much appreciated by us, because without that, it's going to be difficult to really complete this documentary and in the best way that we can.
All right, Brian, again, one more time, the website for everybody to make sure if they want to go contribute, what do they need to do? It's
greatestdayincleveland.com.
All right, and we'll make sure
we would love to be able to change that name, anytime soon if there's another Greatest Day. So
I'd love it. All right, make sure you go to the website and try to help those guys out on what feels like the worst day in Cleveland right now. So I think we're at the exact opposite end today.
Yeah, it's a shame.
All right,
Thanks, Brian.
Good luck to you and good success on the project.
Thank you so much. Take care, guys.
Thank you, and we'll put that link back up on Twitter here in a second. We'll make sure Eric does some work this morning and put that on Twitter, and then we'll also make sure that that's on Facebook as well.
Yep.
A lot of other good stuff coming up. The Bone Lady's going to Skype in. Oh, we've got Muni Lock Gold again. That's coming up in just a few moments too.
I love Muni Lock
Let's
Gold.
run that at 7:45. So stay tight. We'll show you another one of the Angry Browns fans videos. Again, it should be outstanding.
Oh, absolutely.
I can only imagine what the Muni Lot was like yesterday before the game, and it was packed. It was. As I drove by there yesterday, I don't think there was an empty spot in there.
Well, we had Stephanie Ramirez, one of our reporters, go down and did something for our early newscast yesterday. And let's just say there are a lot of fires burning yesterday down there in the Muni Lot, keeping people warm. And again, this goes all the way back to what you and I talked about, the rivalry and the passion that the fans have for this rivalry in their mind. They showed it yesterday. Andy, what was it, 15, 13 degrees at 4 or 5 in the morning when people get down there? They really want this to be good.
Well, beyond that, though, I think if you're a Browns fan, you're looking at this, you're saying, okay, well, why am I still vested in the season? One, you want to see what they're going to draft next year. You want to see what positions they're going to get. I think that's first and foremost if you're a Browns fan. Two, you're in it for fantasy football. Three, you're in it for legal gaming purposes. And I'm trying to think of another reason why. You're in it for the party. That's the only other reason why. That's what's left. And that's what's sad. That's why the rivalry part of it isn't there. Because you've got four things you're probably looking at from a legitimate football standpoint. You're looking at what are the Browns going to draft next year, what kind of quarterback, who's worth keeping on this team, and who's worth letting go. But then you look at the other things, you're looking at the other factors here, gambling, fantasy football, and partying. And that's it. I mean, really, that's Browns football in a nutshell right now. And I don't know that that's the way it's supposed to be.
No.
But that's what's left when you put yourself in this position when the team doesn't show up on the field for the last 2 weeks. I'm not saying they didn't try. I'm not saying that they didn't have the right attitude. But, man, things went south very quick in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I would say invested at this point. I would say just plain old interested, because I don't think anybody's invested anymore after yesterday's game and after having 2 straight weeks to have a chance to move in the division and actually make yourself relevant again. They didn't do it. So invested, now. Interested, mildly. And the draft is going to happen in April regardless. That's going to be the real topic of conversation, and that's just sad.
All right, 7:37. Thanks for watching Dogs on the Run right here on Newsnet 5 and on your mobile app for Newsnet 5 as well. Dogs on the Run is the way to Skype in so you can get into the Wayside Furniture Skype line or call us at 216-431-3820. In fact, it's time to head into the bedroom with the Bone Lady.
Time to get boned. Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, Bone Lady. How are you?
Oh. You know what? I think I need a 12-step program today. I feel like I am in such a bad relationship. And you know what? The guy keeps standing me up. I keep going back. He keeps saying, come on, baby, come back, come back. And you know what? And I keep doing it. And I'm telling you, it's not what you say, it's what you do. And, you know, the other thing, here we go. I'm all over the place. But first, let's talk about just a couple things with the game. You know what? It's really too bad. Josh Gordon had a great game. Last week, Joe Hayden had a great game. But you know what? One guy does not make a team. It's a shame. And why the hell did you not sign a QB during the bye week? That makes no sense to me whatsoever. I don't even know, would that have made it that much of a difference in that game? I don't know. How did the wheels fall off this bus? I don't get it. And the other thing is, yes, everyone's talking about Steelers-Browns are not a rivalry. They are a rivalry. You know what? I grew up hating Steelers. All of us in this town did. And, you know, it used to be called Turnpike Wars. And it is, you know, there is a rivalry. Just because we haven't been competitive for God knows how long and watched all this bad football in this town, it's still a rivalry. And you know what? They need to fix this and do something about it. And you know what? Also with the stadium renovation, let me tell you, you know what? With all the money that they're figuring in, they need to give the season ticket holders back their money for this season, or at least the last game. I'm telling you, I don't get it. I had to interview fans after the game, and I met this guy. This is really telling. I met this kid, Nick, who was born the year the Browns left. And he said to me, Bone Lady, you know what? This is all I know is bad football. He went to the game with his dad. His dad, longtime season ticket holder. So you know what? My feeling was he's not emotionally invested like the rest of us are who grew up watching some good football in this town. So he probably went to the game with his dad because he wanted to be with his dad. Well, his dad's probably going to stop going to the game. So where does that leave Nick? He's probably going to find something. He's 18 years old. He's probably going to find something else to do on a Sunday. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is, God, enough. When is it going to all stop? When is it all going to stop? What are we doing, you guys?
Bone Lady, let me bring this point of interest for you, and I think we'll all enjoy this. For such a bad day, there is something to celebrate today. Do you know what that is?
No, what?
Today is Bernie Kosar's birthday. Happy birthday,
oh,
Bernie.
Happy birthday, Bernie.
That's outstanding. I'll go with that. Thanks, Andy.
That's
made my
That's
day,
the only
actually.
positive note I have today. Happy birthday, Bernie.
Yep.
But you know what, Andy? It's like we all are living in the past. I mean, there isn't much to grab onto in the future. And you know what? I'm kind of mad. Like, I've been the jolted, jaded Browns fan for a long time now, right?
Right.
And they sucked me in this season. And I'm kind of mad. It's like, oh, you guys sucked me in, and I got all caught up again. I got all emotional again. Then you did it to me again. And how do you not get up for the Steeler game? I don't get it. Like, answer that question. Like, why did the wheels fall off? Like,
how do you
what
not get
happened?
up for it? Because this isn't, for the players, it's not the same kind of rivalry.
No.
I talked to Rodney Bailey the other day. Kid went to Ed's and ended up getting drafted by the Steelers and, played at Ohio State. He said when he was in Pittsburgh, they loved coming into Cleveland just so they could crush this team because they knew they could. But that's exactly what it is. It's not, you have a fight between one party that knows how to swing and the other party that can't, and they don't get it. And I don't know that that's on Chud. I don't know if that's on the players or whatever. Those guys understand what a rivalry is. I just don't see it. This team has too many other things to worry about, that pulling off an upset against Pittsburgh just doesn't happen. And that's where they are.
Yeah.
And, for you, I mean, I agree with you, Bone Lady, but the only thing I disagree with, it's not a rivalry. In the fans' minds, it's a rivalry. For people of our generation, your age, my age, Annie's age, yes. But it's not for the new generation. And it's the new generation that's the face of the Browns' backs. Unfortunately, the fans' backs are young faces now. And they don't know what it's like to beat the Steelers and beat their ass. They don't know what that's like. And it's sad. So there's not, that passion is not there, but it's there for people like you and for us. And I feel bad for that younger generation. They will not feel that. And I don't know how long it's going to take. I just think it's going to be a while before they're going to feel like it was back in the 80s again.
I don't know how old you guys are. I'm 21. I don't know what you're talking about.
All they know is bad football. That's all they've seen in their lifetime is bad football.
Yeah.
Bone Lady, thank you. We love being in your bedroom with you. Thank you.
Okay, you guys. Take
Outstanding.
care.
One day we'll actually get to see if you have shoulders. Goodbye, Bone Lady.
He's always pushing the envelope, isn't
All
he?
right,
It's nice to get boned 2 days in a row.
We are staying on the
Sunday
Wayside
and then Monday.
Furniture Skype line. Craig Lindell, waiting for next year. I know you're feeling a little under the weather. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing all right. How's it going, guys? This is not my bedroom.
Well, that's okay.
We're happy for that. Trust me.
So they say that, a song without music, it's really just a poem. And my voice, if I were to sing today, I'd probably sound a lot like Miley Cyrus did last night. So I wrote
saying
a
Joan
Thanksgiving
Baez.
poem.
All right, you have a poem for us
Nice.
today. Go ahead, Craig. What do you got?
It's Thanksgiving in Cleveland, so I'd like to say thanks to the Steelers of Pittsburgh for kicking us in the pants. The Browns went down fighting about as hard as a pillow, except compared to the Browns, a pillow is hard. That doesn't really rhyme, but I'm saying they're soft. The message is very important here. So back to the poem. Same old Browns team. Browns fans can't get any sadder. At least with new escalators, we can get out of the stadium faster. So off we go to Turkey, killing sadness with food. Then we'll hang up our stockings so the Browns can ruin Christmas too.
You're killing us. You're killing us. You know that, Craig. You're absolutely killing us.
I'm just saying you're the best part of the show. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
That's the best part of the show.
Where do we go
Let's just
from
have
here?
you and Matt do the show. Well, I'm too
I
disappointed.
wish I could have sung it.
Have Matt come in and tell jokes, and you sing and do your poems, and the ratings are going to skyrocket. I'm done.
Where do we go from here, man? Where do we go?
I just want to point out that the Browns were favored yesterday, weren't they? I mean,
yeah,
this wasn't the year where we were supposed to watch them get their butts kicked by Pittsburgh, was it?
No, this was the year they were going to take Pittsburgh twice. I can't tell you how many people said that to me. Oh, we're getting Pittsburgh twice. And 2 weeks ago, after last week's game, I said, Pittsburgh's looking at the Browns saying they're going to get the Browns twice and get right back in this thing. I think the only thing standing in their way, if they can win on Thursday night, is if Aaron Rodgers is healthy enough to play. Otherwise, I say Pittsburgh has a legit shot to run the table.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, they're running the ball well. The Browns, the most disappointing thing about yesterday, not the offense. I mean, I come to expect that. The Browns didn't get near Ben Roethlisberger, it didn't feel like. Not once. What's that? That with part of the team is healthy and was ready to go. Where was Ray Horton's defense yesterday in the cold, making life difficult?
Yeah, I took a little heat on Twitter for that. I took a lot of heat. I figured we were going to see a super aggressive defense. There's no way that's going to happen again in the last game of the season. But you don't know what guys are playing for now. You know, are you playing for next season? Are you playing for tape? Do you think you have some kind of miracle way to get back in this thing?
No.
Yeah, I can't believe you were taking heat on Twitter, Andy. Were you coordinating it? Were you calling the plays down there?
No, yeah, well, it was because I said last week on the radio that I said that, look, one of the great reasons for this team is Ray Horton. And we've seen the defense the last couple weeks be very aggressive. We've seen some guys step up and do some things. We've seen defensive backs grow like Buster Screen right before our eyes. So I think a lot of the credit for that goes to Ray Horton and the attitude that he brings in. Now all of a sudden you're playing Pittsburgh. Your offense is pathetic.
Really
and now you're putting all the pressure on the defense so that if they do give up one big play, they're toast. And that's what happened yesterday to Joe Hayden. So that's why, I was talking about, keep singing the song for the front office, Andy. Keep singing the song. Well, that's not the case. The case is that you can't leave the defense out there the entire game. Yeah. And then last week you got special teams breakdowns. The defense is an NFL defense. You're going to have bad plays every once in a while.
Well, and it's the worst part of sports in the modern Twitter age. You're not wrong. You weren't wrong. They just because they failed doesn't mean that you were wrong. They were good up until this point. I thought they were gonna destroy Pittsburgh's offensive line yesterday. Everybody should have thought that. Vegas thought that. The Browns just choked. They choked. They didn't show up yesterday, and that's not on you. That's not on me. That's not on our predictions. That's on them. And it's bound to happen in most seasons that we're going to lose all hope and it's going to be over. But it just shouldn't have been over against the Steelers at home yesterday. Shouldn't have been.
It's a great point, Craig. Make sure everybody goes online. They read waitingfornextyear.com. What do you got on there right now?
We've got actually coming at 10 o'clock, we'll have Browns winners and losers. You can try and come up with a couple of winners, and you can also come up with plenty of losers, I'm sure.
Good job. Hey, thank you, Craig. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for all your support.
Thanks, guys.
We love having you on the show.